giving you a voice,
making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
If you're on an FRC or FTC team and you're currently meeting safely in person and have a functional robot, we'd love to have you on our Behind the Bots or Behind the Bumper segments. Go ahead and reach out to us on any of our social channels, on Discord, or send us an email at admin@firstupdatesnow.com, and let's get your team scheduled to be on First Updates Now. You can also directly support Fun by joining Fun Nation. Click the join button, and just for a few bucks a month, you'll unlock special perks and directly support us so we can keep making great content.
Welcome to FTC Recap, where you get the breakdown and discussion of what's going on in the FTC community from First Updates Brooks and Ashray. Let's get right into the headlines for today.
Yeah, so to start things off, the previous president of First, Larry Cohen, has retired. He joined in December 2019, and as such, he had a tough task of leading First through the pandemic, and we are told he retired to spend time with his family. He will be succeeded by Chris Rake, who is currently Vice President of Programs. I personally didn't hear from Larry Cohen that much. Probably not as in-depth known into the community as Don Bosey was, but what do you guys think about this?
It's definitely great that First getting a leadership change. I think I'm looking forward to seeing how he takes it.
Yeah, I didn't hear from Larry Cohen as much either. The only time I think I saw him in a video was for the Woody Flowers Memorial and for FRC kickoff this year and last year. Other than that, there's not been really anything else where we've seen him, and so that's been a little bit different compared to Don Bosey, who was pretty active in the entire First community. And Don Bosey even came on our show after he retired. Excited for Chris Rake, though. Talking to Tyler, he is the boss of both Ken Johnson, who's the FTC program director, and Frank Merritt, who's the FRC program director, and he's also the FLL program director, which will be exciting because he's had hands-on experience working with the programs. Did you have any thoughts on that, Tyler?
No, I think you said it well. The only thing I think is quite interesting is that Chris has not been very public-facing in his role before, and I'm a little concerned that because the Larry Cohen, we didn't see him at all, right? We need somebody to kind of steer the ship a little bit, and it'd be nice to see somebody publicly facing with this. So I hope, Chris is the interim president. Doesn't mean he's going to become the full-time president, so they might still be searching for somebody, but it would sure be nice to have somebody in the limelight a bit more in that role. I think we're very used to Don being that way, and it's hard to recuperate what that was, right? But I think whoever ends up taking that over, I really like to see somebody who is a bit more active communicating with the community. Communication's been, I think, a very big issue with COVID, and you can see my rant for that in the World Champs and that sort of thing, but I really hope we get a more forward-facing person.
Great. Want to move on to the next one?
Yep. So for the very first time, GoBuilder will be hosting an off-season competition designated just for teams in the South region called the Deep South FTC Tournament. This tournament will consist of remote matches to determine rankings, an aligned selection system, as well as elimination matches. There will also be prizes sponsored by GoBuilder, so definitely sign up soon. The competition starts on April 24th. What do you guys think about it?
So I don't know if the competition is necessarily hosted by GoBuilder. It says that it's presented by GoBuilder, which means it might just be a sponsorship. It was unclear from any of the material that I saw on the event whether it's actually hosted by GoBuilder or the team that posted this link. Either way, it'll be fun. A nice way to connect people from the South. Maybe fake Houstons, if you want to call it that. But overall, cool idea.
It's their consolation prize for first not letting them do championships or anything.
Yeah.
Go build a booth, everybody.
Yeah.
Brooks, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. The added Go Build a bit seemed like how are they exactly are involved, but it's cool that they're at least in some way sponsoring this event. Aligned selection elimination matches, that's something I missed a lot from this year, so it's super cool to see that being in an event.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this competition will work because it feels like it integrates the remote part of qualification matches and then also brings in your aligned selection elimination matches that we've been missing all year. So I like that it has the best of both worlds, and I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Awesome. Now in the news that everybody's heard and time to get our opinions on it, recently First sent out an announcement saying that they will be canceling First Championship in both Houston and Detroit this year. They currently have no plans for the championship to be remote. This comes after an announcement earlier in the season saying that they would have championship pushed back to late July or early August. They are looking into the possibility of celebrating the accomplishments of teams and the possibility of having FRC off-season events. Personally, I thought that it's kind of ridiculous that they literally adapted the FTC game and wrote a game manual for a remote event, and they can't hold a remote off season, right? They expect every other affiliate partner to host a remote off season, and then when it comes to the World Championship, the most prestigious event, the only event in FTC that is run by First, they just decide no, we can't do a virtual event. I thought that was kind of ridiculous. I don't know what you all think. Want to get your thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, I completely agree. Like I kind of get that because of COVID and such a large event and stuff, they kind of had to do something. But it's just completely mind-boggling how they just dropped it. They're like, we're not gonna do a remote event. Like what? Like it's like what?
Yeah. I mean, I think the other thing is like they already pushed it back all the way to August, and most people are already getting vaccinated and stuff. So I feel like just with COVID trends, you could still like host. You could have still hosted something like 3 to 4 person per team and stuff. And like now without FRC, now you have a larger space to like play with too. So I feel like there's definitely ways that they could have adapted this to a traditional style. And even if not, you're totally right. Like why not remote? That makes no sense whatsoever. So I mean, if not like a world championship level remote competition, maybe just like smaller, like mini worlds kinds of things, like supers, remote, so that it was like smaller competitions. But just nothing is just kind of unfair, but whatever.
Yeah, and Tyler just put it in the chat. Vex hosts a world championship virtually. It's not the most difficult thing to do. They literally hosted a world championship last year when they had less than 2 months of a heads up for their world championship, and they were able to make something virtual. They even created like a simulation for every single team competing and created a hypothetical how worlds could end up based on probability and statistics. So absolutely insane to me how they weren't able to do this. I mean, now it's come down to like teams are going to have to do whatever they want, and that leads right into our next discussion topic.
Yes, of course. So before Worlds was canceled, the FTC Discord started to see if anybody would be interested in an unofficial off-season competition open to all teams. But the popularity of such an event organized by the community started to pick up some more steam after Worlds was canceled, as something to fill that gap. It looks like a genuinely great event with rule changes to fix some of the strange, arbitrary ones of the GDC, like the power shots, and could have many experienced teams that tend to be on the Discord. There may also be other draws such as virtual pits and required video, which would be definitely nice.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be run by the FTC Discord, which means that it's going to have all the rules that everybody wants that First just won't do. So I'm glad to see that it's going to happen. And to be honest, it's going to be like doing an MTI or an IRI. MTI is still happening, which is going to be awesome, but they're limited to how much space they have. And so they can only host 36 teams. So it's only going to be a select few number of teams. And even if there are more than 36 that belong there, which I can name 50 off the top of my head that belong there, 36 is the limit. So it's nice to have this Discord FTC tournament, especially since literally anybody can compete in it because it's virtual. So it will be somewhat of a consolation for missing out on Worlds.
Yeah, personally, I'm really curious as to how teams will adapt to like remote competitions versus in-person competitions. I feel like there's a huge difference between the actual like environments of the different like field styles. So I feel like teams competing in their own homes is definitely different than teams going in person to MTI. So I hope the Discord one runs well because it'll be all remote, but I'm interested to see how teams will perform there versus at MTI where it'll be in person most likely.
Awesome. Want to head on to the next topic?
Yep. So next up, we have a new free-to-use online resource called Easy OpenCV Sim. This EOCV Sim software allows teams to seamlessly test their computer vision code straight from their computer without needing to use trial and error to test it out on their robot. This will definitely save a lot of time for teams, and this easy-to-use software also has a built-in way to transfer the code from that software directly into your own team's robot code. So it definitely looks really great and easy to use. So I'm looking forward to seeing how FTC programmers use it, especially like rookies who might be new to computer vision. Brooks, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not a programmer myself, so I don't know the full extent of how useful this is. But I do know that like early in the season is typically where we do vision, and for programmers to be able to do that on their own, that still gives more time for mechanical to work on the robot, especially in such a critical part, right? So I can see it being pretty useful that way.
Yeah, this reminds me of Grip, which is a commonly used software in FRC, and I even started using it in FTC back when I was on a team. It doesn't work as well for FTC because of how it's not optimized for FTC. So it's cool to see this easy OpenCV Sim. One of the nice things is you can just drag your own photos, and the programmer doesn't need to be with the robot to test out vision, which is something that we haven't seen before. So really excited about that. Could definitely streamline the programming. And that's going to wrap up all the headlines we have today. One of the things that we're doing on Fun is we're bringing back Behind the Bots. We know that that was a popular segment, a popular show that everybody liked to see. And so we're continuing to shoot them. We have, I think, over 5 queued up, ready to be released, closer to 10
About
ready
10.
to be released. About 10 ready to be released like right now. We're going to be releasing them over the next week or so. If you and your team wants to be interviewed for a Behind the Bot episode, make sure to reach out to us on social media at First Updates at Fun FTC or on the First Updates Now Discord, and we will try to get your team interviewed. We're really excited for these. We're doing a lot of them virtually, but we're also doing some in person. So depending on what event you're at, we might be able to do an in-person or a virtual one. And if you go to MTI, we will definitely try to get some there.
We would like to thank our friends at Stryker for supporting this video. Stryker is looking for current and future FIRST alumni to join their internship program, and FIRST mentors who are looking for a great career with a company who actually supports their FIRST journey. Go to careers.stryker.com to learn more. You can also directly support Fun by joining Fun Nation. Click the join button, and just for a few bucks a month, you'll unlock special perks and directly support us so we can keep making great content. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. And check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.